Stars make every player on the team better. Michael Jordan, his ability to challenge himself, his natural ability physically of being able to play with such great energy, his intelligence, basketball intelligence, all those things I think were remarkable. I enjoyed coaching Michael Jordan because he had a respect for coaches and he had a desire to play at a peak level, and he's willing to follow instructions without, wanting to over-dominate the game. Even as a young player, there were times in the fourth quarter where he would make up the difference in a ball game on his own. I had to bring Michael in my office and say, Michael, when's the last time someone who led the league in scoring won a championship? Thought about it a bit. He said, Rick Barry. I said, yeah, that's right, in the 70s. But it's very rare that person that wins scoring championship is also on a championship team. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to move the ball around and we're going to take the spotlight off you all the time and involve the other players on your team. He said, oh, you're going to have that equal opportunity offense. Well, what's going to happen when the 24-second clock gets under 5 seconds? We'll coach the players how to get the ball to you in that particular time so you can activate the ball. Save that terrific scoring ability for the fourth quarter. He laughed and he accepted the responsibility. And the other thing that we did is we moved him from a guard to a forward position. We really wanted to win the series in Chicago, game 5, and we lost this game and we flew out to Utah to play the 6th game, and Michael said, we're going to end it tonight. You guys get ready for this ball game because we're not going 7. Going into the game, we kind of knew what we had to do to win the game. You had to play close, but come out and win the game in the last 5 minutes. The timeout that I did take with about 40-some seconds to go. That was the key, because knowing Jerry Sloan and having coached against him many times, I knew that if we could go down and score and make it a one-possession game, that he wouldn't call a timeout. We'll run the open. Dennis will, run a pick or set a pick or slip a pick, depending upon what Ostertag does. And Michael, you can double back on Malone if you have the ability. You saw the crowd rise behind that whole activity. You could see the anticipation that they had that this was a crucial moment. Michael changed the idea and pulled up for the jumper instead of taking it to the hoop and finished it. We called that season The Last Dance, and I thought, for an ending of a career, there could have been nothing sweeter than what Michael had just done.
All right, fellas, let's get on the box quickly. Do what we did last time, take a shot. What time is it? Game time! Move!
As we get ready for tonight's big game.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Delta Center for game number 6 of the NBA Finals with the Chicago Bulls and our Utah Jazz. And now, introducing the starting lineup for the Chicago Bulls. Wearing number 13, the starting center at 7'2" from New Mexico, Luke Longley. On the guard line, number 9 at 6'6", from Miami of Ohio, Brock Harper. Wearing number 7, starting forward at 6'11", from Croatia, Tony Kukoc. Wearing number 33, starting forward at 6'7", from Central Arkansas, Scottie Pippen. And a guard, number 23 at 6'6", from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. The Bulls are coached by Phil Jackson. Starting forward number 3 at 6'7" from Long Beach State, Brian Russell. The starting center, number 31 at 6'9" from Stanford, Adam Keefe. At guard number 14, at 6'4" from Iowa State, Jeff Hornacek. On the guard line, number 12 at 6'1" from Gonzaga, John Stockton. Starting at forward, number 32, at 6'9", from Louisiana Tech, the mailman, Carmelo. The Jazz are coached by Jerry Sloan. Let's hear it for your Utah Jazz.
Welcome everyone to Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me, former NBA Coach of the Year Mike Fratello and former player Clark Kellogg. On our sideline tonight, reporter David Alden. Mike, the only reason this series was extended to Game 6 is because of Utah's adjustments in Game 5.
The screen and roll is a big part of their offense. They went away from it. Instead, they posted Karl Malone, inserted Antoine Carr, who gave them another shooter, so when Pippen doubled, they could kick the ball to the open man.
And for Chicago in Game 5, Tony Kukoc coming up big, Clark. He had 30 points, but Jordan and Pippen could not get it going.
That's why we always talk about the importance of the team. It's rare that either guy, Pippen or Jordan, is off his game, let alone both of them at the same time. Jordan just couldn't find the range, and Pippen was ineffective against Hornacek in the low post.
It was so surprising, but Hornacek did a great job.
Yeah.
On the floor for the Chicago Bulls, Luke Longley is at the 5. The forwards, Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc. And at the guard positions, Ron Harper and the great Michael Jordan. And so for the Utah Jazz, it's Adam Keefe and Karl Malone inside. Brian Russell at the 3 and also tasked with defending Michael Jordan. And the skilled backcourt of Jeff Hornacek and John Stockton.
When you look at how the Bulls have played on the road this postseason, they're only 4-4. And most of those losses have come against their toughest opponents, Utah and Indiana.
The shot's good from Jordan.
States.
Yeah, control going to be the key here. That's the only way to get out of this thing.
Out to the right wing. And the Chicago Bulls win their 6th championship, completing a second three-peat. Without question, Mike, one of the greatest dynasties this league has ever seen.
6 championships in 8 seasons. A decade of dominance. The 90s have belonged to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls.
And this title run for the Bulls, arguably, Clark, their most difficult, with age and injuries and even some palace intrigue. But for the moment, merely jubilation.
You covered it all there, Kevin. What a remarkable run. And now we'll just have to wait and see whether they decide to run it back one more time. This very well, though, could be the final chapter.